Hey guys, Brent from In My Head channel, and I'm back with the last video of this series for Type O Negative Slow Deep and Hard album. And I've been making several videos this evening. It's a Saturday evening, early fall, and I've had some time to do it, so I've done it. You probably noticed my shirts stayed the same because, oh well. And I have been drinking quite a lot. I've got some beer behind me. Of course, the last few videos I've done, I've featured a beer, and we're going up to a little bit darker beer. We're actually making it to a red ale on this video. And for those of you who don't care, just skip on forward. But we're going to be dealing with 3 tracks in this video. We're going to be dealing with the last 3 tracks of the album. We're going to be dealing with the Glass Walls of Limbo, the dance mix, which is track 5. It's, let me get my notes here. It is 6 minutes and 41 seconds long, and it's very trance-like, but I've got an interesting perspective on it that you may or may not have heard of. And then track 6 is the first Type O Negative. Well, the Glass Walls of Limbo mix could probably kind of be a joke track or a prank track too, once you see what I'm talking about. But the Misinterpretation of Silence and its Disastrous Consequences, Part 1, Venus Contrary Motion, is track 6. It's 1 minute and 4-5 seconds long of silence. Sounds like there's a little bit of white noise in there, but it's silence. It's silence. It is a minute and 5 seconds of silence. So I will probably show it on the screen when we're talking, but I doubt I'll go too much into it because it's hard to critique silence. Except in a relationship that's going bad, silence can be deafening. Think about that. That's the buzzing talking. And then the last track that we're going to talk about is, let me get this right, it's Gravitational Constant. G equals 6.67 times 8 times 10-8 centimeters, or times 10 minus 8 centimeters minus 3 gm minus 1 second minus 2. And part 1 is called Unjustified. It's broken up into 4 parts. Part 1, it's 9 minutes and 14 seconds long. That's going to be the cusp of what we're going to be looking at today, the bulk. It's 9 minutes and 14 seconds long. It is broken up into 4 parts. Unjustifiable existence. Part 2 is gravitational acceleration due to gravity. Part 3 is antimatter, electromechanical deliciosis. And then number 4 is Requiem for the Soulless Man. And so we're going to get into that. We'll get into my beer here because I've really been enjoying my beers, drinking my beers. This is the next one my wife chose for me. We're going darker. She's working me up to the dark, and I think I just might do a live Facebook video, a live YouTube after this when I drink my dark, because I'm feeling pretty damn good. So there'll probably be a live Facebook after this, or live YouTube. But this is New Sarum Salisbury Brewing Company High Rock Red Ale. There. This is 6.0% alcohol by volume, 12 fluid ounces, brewed in Salisbury. And I can't read, so I'm going to look. I need bifocals. I'm old, people. I'm 49. So I'm going to look over my glasses here. This innovative red ale was created with the use of Morris, Otter, and Rye, embarking on a light biscuit flavor and spicy notes while drinking this beer. The addition of English hops to finish this creation results in an enjoyable sweet hop flavor and aroma to tempt your taste buds. So it says it's a red ale, so I'm hoping it's a red. I like red. The last one I drank in the last video was a little darker. It was from a brewing company in Hickory. And so we're going to see how this one looks. Oh yeah. That's pretty. That's pretty. A little bit of a head on it. Oh, it smells so good. Yes. Red ale. Yes. Starting to get into stuff I like now. I like the first stuff. The last one we did was a little strong. So I'm going to drink it here. Yes. That is, yes. That is yes. That's a beer. Some of the lighter beers, I'll drink them by myself. And I'm sorry if you don't care about this. If you don't care, skip on. But if you... Lighter beers, I actually enjoy to drink when I'm eating food. Like if I'm eating wings or something spicy or pizza or Mexican or anything like that. I like drinking the lighter beers. But now if I'm just sitting around my house and I'm like, you know what? I'm not eating anything, but I'm going to drink a beer. I like drinking the darker beers. I like drinking the things that have a flavor and a taste all their own. Damn, that's good. And I just want to drink them by themselves. So, anyway. So, I'm going to play a little bit of Glass Walls of Limbo, the dance mix. I'm not going to play the whole thing, because you'll get the cusp of what it is. Cusp, I don't know why I keep saying that. You'll get the gist of what it is, and it's at its essence. It's getting hard to talk, people. Then I want to play something that I found that I think is very interesting, and that's why I think this is kind of one of those joke tracks. All right, so here we go. We're starting the Glass Walls of Limbo dance mix here. And let me start my typo video behind me here so you guys have something to look at if you're just bored and don't like looking at my pretty face. So here we go. Now I will say, while this is getting started, I will say that this is one of those CDs I listen to a lot at work. And sometimes I listen to this. Every once in a while I'll throw in Glass, God, Lord help me. Glass Walls of Limbo. I'll throw it on. And I'm looking at the wrong camera again. Here you go. This is getting harder as it goes, people. But I throw it on. It's very tantric, kind of trance kind of music. It's just very relaxing. It's good to put on in a dark room. A lot of Typo Negative's music, have you ever noticed it's really cool to listen to in a dark room? Or when you're by yourself. It's very good by yourself music. And my wife, she doesn't get Typo Negative at all. She's like, anytime I listen to them, she's like, oh, the cyanide and the razor blades are in the glove box, because she sees it as very depressing. But she does like some of the songs. She has come around. She likes Love You to Death and some songs like that. It took her a while. But the music itself can be very depressing, don't you think? It can be very depressing. But when you're in a mood where you're feeling like Peter Steele would have felt, the listening to the music that is depressing, it lifts your spirits. It makes you less depressed, because you're like, I've felt that way before. I've wanted to take a pickaxe out of the trunk of my car and put it on a grinder and put it in somebody's head. Or you felt those feelings of rage or those feelings of hurt towards somebody. Don't be all high and mighty and act like you haven't, because you have. Don't be all high and mighty on me here now. Typo Negative people, you're my audience, and if you obviously are a Typo Negative person if you're watching this video. If you're not, you should be. But listening to Typo Negative is one of those bands that really, when I'm in a bad mood or I'm in a shitty mood or I've had a bad day or whatever, it's one of those bands I like to listen to, because I deal so much with what Peter talks about in his songs. But anyway, we're about 2 minutes, 3 minutes into this. We're about halfway into it. I'm going to turn it up here a little bit for you and let you listen to it. I'm going to go a little further into it because there's something I want you to hear. And then I'm going to play something else for you that's a little, it's something I found. And basically what somebody did was they took this 6 minute long, almost 7 minute long track of just this trance type music and sped it up. 300% is what it says. I don't know if it's actually sped up 300%. I've not actually ever tried to do it. I have sound editing software where I can speed stuff up 300%. Excuse me. But I've never actually done it. So I don't know if they sped it up 300%. But they sped it up and you get a result of what actually sounds like a song. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. That makes me burp more than the others. But anyway, we're going to listen to a little bit more here, and then I'm going to switch over to another track. It's the sped up version. It's more of that, just that Gregorian chanting type thing that it's just so relaxing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that in a dark room, just with some candles, and and some of your favorite alcohol or your favorite substance. I mean, I don't promote illegal things, but for me it'd be beer. But it's just relaxing. But anyway, we're going to switch over to something here. I want you to hear this. And check this out. I'll put the link to this in the comments or in the description. I always say comments. In the description, I'll put the link to this. But this is on YouTube. Type in negative Glass Walls of Limbo, sped up 300%. Check this out. To me, that sounds like somebody screaming as they're being whipped. But then a melody comes in. Do you hear that? Do you hear that there's a melody over the other melody? And then it changes there. You hear this? It almost sounds intentional. And I know Typo Negative enough to know that they probably did something like this on purpose. It just sounds very purposeful. So if you take it and you speed it up, that's what it sounds like. So anyway, take from that what you want, and like I said, if we go back down here to the videos I've got, we have the misinterpretation of silence and its disastrous consequences. I'm going to turn this at full blast so you can hear it. And it's just a bunch of nothing. And I'm drunk. I'm buzzing. I don't get drunk. Says no one ever. This is really good. I don't have much left. But yeah, it is nothing. It's nothing but silence. And like I said, sometimes silence is the worst. So I'm going to let this play out, and hopefully YouTube don't play a video, try to play an ad on me. My typo negative still going back there. So we're going to move on to the gravitational constant, which is all I'm going to call it. And we'll let it play. I don't want to live no more. So that starts off with 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't want to live no more. And then he goes into the I've got no more reason to live. So, yeah, gravitational constant and that all that other stuff that's, that you can see it on your screen. G equals 6.67 times 10 minus 8 centimeters minus 3 GMs minus 1 second minus 2. I'm sure that's some mathematical formula for gravity. It's basically, the name of the song should have been Gravity. And this is one song that they basically reuse very heavily on the and I hope I'm working at the right camera. Let me make sure. Let me press this just to make sure. But they use this very heavily on the Origin of the Feces album. I think they used the entire song in some point in time on the Origin of the Feces. And I really like this song. It's not my favorite song on the album. Like I said, I've already said that what my favorite song was. But this is really good. So this first segment is called Unjustifiable Existence. It's broken into 4 parts. It's probably the deepest, most violent song on the album, with lyrics like I've got no more reason to live and I've not got no more love to give. I'll paint the town red. I'll put another hole in my head. Unjustifiable existence. And he said, I've seen the weight of the world on my back. I've seen the future. The future looks black. I know it's what I must do. No reservations. Ain't talking about self-preservation. And then they're doing this part where they do gravity. They're singing gravity. And when they redo this on Origin of the Feces, they're like, gravity crushing me. They say it fast. So now he's getting ready to go into the second segment. And this is on Origin of the Feces as well. Except instead of saying kill, kill, kill here, they say die, die, die. But this is the second part. It's called Gravitational Acceleration Due to Gravity minus 980 centimeters minus 2 seconds. Right there you hear them, they're saying kill, kill, kill. They actually, on the thing, they say die, die, die. And they go into this little offbeat thing on that album, on Origin of the Feces, that they're not doing here. So in a minute they're going to go back into, and he's going to say, I feel something, this is talking about gravity, I feel something pulling me down, forcing me between myself and the ground. Of all the nightmares that ever came true, I think that gravity is you. And once again, this is like the bad relationship, the relationship gone horribly wrong. Beer time. And like I said, this whole album is just like I said. It's basically, you hear a lot of Carnivore. When it gets toward this last part of the album, you just hear the desperation and the calls for wanting to commit suicide. But it starts sounding more and more like a Typo Negative album in a weird way. Because they had this self-loathing, self-deprecating about them, I love at the end of October Rust where he goes, they just produced a fucking masterpiece, in my opinion. And at the end of it, he's like, well, that's it. That's all we have. I hope it wasn't too disappointing. And I'm like, what the hell? Because, like I said, to me, that album's a masterpiece. I'd like to know what you think. You leave out, comments. I'd like to know what you think. What's your favorite Typo album? So now we're going into Antimatter. Bones breaking and Peter Steele moaning in pain is the description that I have during this part. This is phase 3, Antimatter, electromechanical, psychodelicious. Now, when they do that, they go into this on Origin of the Feces, but they kind of cut it short. And this is the part where they kind of they start to go into this. They start to go into this, and then this is where the mock bomb threat comes in, and they end up starting up on the second side with a different song. They don't actually go into "I've got a problem with hate." They actually cut this whole part off. They don't do this part. What he's saying here is, I got a problem with hate. I can't go on dragging this weight. A cold steel hand that won't let go. Acid-filled thoughts out of control. I built myself a nice little cage with bars of anger and a lock of rage. I love that visual. I can't help asking who holds the key when I know damn well it's me. And that is just freaking phenomenal. And then they go into this, which is supposedly the lesbian choir. But that's Peter and, mostly Peter and some of the other guys. But they don't do this whole part. They go into the da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, which is, agony and ecstasy, your problem, my pleasure, They go into that, but they get cut off with the bomb threat. And then they go into that when they hit on the other side. So they don't do this part here in Origin of the Feces. They cut this part off. But like I said, I'll go into more of that. When the Origin of the Feces stuff comes out, definitely want to check it out, because I'll be talking about what they pull from the first album and what they don't and where they mix it in and everything. It's going to be really cool. But yeah, he says, I ain't hitting for sympathy. I'm used to dealing with apathy. The scars on my wrist may seem like a crime. Just wish me better luck next time. So what if I died 1,000 deaths? You think I'm insane? I have no regrets. One more time, won't matter, no question. Suicide is self-expression. And it basically goes out from there. It just does this from here out. It just basically does this from here out. That's some really good beer. It's more stout than the stuff I've drank before. And in my live video, I guess I'm going to do, because I'm just feeling froggy tonight. I think I'm going to do a live video after this. So hell, you'll probably get to see it before you get to see these videos. So you'll know that these videos are the ones that I was making before I went into my live video. But anyway, that's it. That's Slow, Deep, and Hard. It just kind of fades out for the next 14, 15 seconds from there. That's it. That's Slow, Deep, and Hard. It's a great album, but like I said, I have a tendency to listen to Origin of the Feces a little more, just because I like Peter's singing style on that a little better, and I like the way they mix the songs. They do the songs like this. Take a little of this song, take a little of that song, and they just kind of mix it all together. And then they throw in Hey Pete, which I love Hey Pete, which is the Jimi Hendrix cover of Hey Joe with the changed lyrics. So anyway, that's the album. That's the whole album. It's a great first album. I can see how this album got them signed, because this is the album they made when they were still Repulsion / Sub-Zero. And this is the album that got them signed with Roadrunner. And, and then by the time they got signed, this album, it had been 2 years since they'd done this album. So Pete kind of remixed it and they re-recorded it, and they came up with Origin of the Feces. So, which I think is the better album of the two, me personally. But anyway, that's my thoughts. I'm Brant. This is In My Head channel. These are in my head buzzing thoughts. But that's a good way to listen to typo, is when you're buzzing too, also as well, and what not. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe. Click on subscribe. Leave a comment. Click the like button if you like this video. Subscribe. Hit the notifications button if you enjoyed this video and you want to see others. This is the last in the series of 5, so you can go back and watch the others. But if you're interested in seeing more videos from me, I have all kinds of content, Kiss and paranormal and stuff like that. If you're interested in me seeing more content, click on my face right here. I make it real easy. You can click on my face and you can subscribe, or you can click. You can click on my face and subscribe. But also click here if you want to see another video from me. And like I said, I appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.